My God. 100 people tell us if they have a racial preference. Now, to bring it back, what you were talking about, Island Baby, Deja, you said when you were younger that you didn't like black boys, which is a crazy thing to say. Ugh. I'm dying. I'm fine. Now, I have a shade preference. What does that mean? All right, listen. Okay, look. When I saw the thumbnail, is it racist? Is it racist? So I'm gonna ask y'all that. Is it racist to have a preference to say, I don't want to date white girls, I don't want to date Asians, I don't want to date Hispanics, I don't want to date black people? No, I don't think it's racist. So like a skin shade too dark or too light, I don't think it's racist. Okay. Let's see what everyone else thinks.
Have you always had a preference?
No.
What changed?
I dated a white person.
What happened?
He called me a colored person, not person.
That's great! Whoa! The squeal came out. That's how you know it's serious. The squeal came out. Off the bat, a colored person is crazy.
Of color, colored person.
Holy.
Do you have racial preferences when it comes to dating?
Oh, that's a good question. Well.
Oh my God.
Wait.
Oh, that's a good question.
Isn't this Shawty? The one we just saw? With her 10-year boyfriend, husband, whatever? That's her, right? I think it is her.
Well.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 Do you have a racial preference when dating?
Not necessarily, but everybody else in my life says that I do.
What do they say your preference is?
Anything Asian.
Asians?
It's exclusively Asian guys.
Is there a race that you tend to date the most?
Exclusively Asian guys is crazy.
I think black people.
Black love all day.
I noticed it when I was in grade school, but like all my crushes were Mexicans.
A lot of my friends like to clown me and say that I only date white girls.
I love Caucasian women. That's probably bad for the character.
Do you have a racial preference when dating?
I used to be strictly white meat, but now I'm like, okay, what, it's just one part of a spectrum of so many flavors.
I've dated like every race of lady probably out there.
Hispanic, Asian,
White guys.
Oh my God.
Every race of lady probably out there.
Hispanic.
Shout out to the Grade 5'9" shirt. Yes, sir. Grade 5'9", Grade 5'9". Yes, sir. Put your threes in the air, Grade 5'9", let's go.
Hispanic, Asian.
White guys, white girls, guys of color, women of color.
I grew up in like a predominantly Asian area.
My community had a lot of Asian and African people. That's general.
Okay, but a race comes with cultures and some cultures don't mix. Okay, but I mean, like I get where you're coming from, but at the same time, it's kind of like a
what I lean towards.
Flavors. It's like, why would you just want one flavor? It's a blessing in difference.
Have you heard of the term, if she's ain't foreign, she boring?
I feel like you just made that up.
No, it's it.
Do you have a racial preference when dating?
No.
No, I do not.
I do not. As much as I would like to say that I don't, when I made my eHarmony account, I was definitely only trying to match with certain people. It was
white guys.
It's pretty an uncomfortable feeling.
Why was it uncomfortable?
Because I painted myself as a racist.
Is it racist to have a preference?
No.
Absolutely not.
You can't be racist.
if you just want to be in your community.
A lot of people are attracted to people that look like them.
You like who you like. I don't think you should be forced to like someone just because it might seem racist or not.
Like their skin, their culture, regardless, right?
I'd say yes, there is a problem with having a racial preference.
I think if it's intentional and it's like, I won't date any Hispanic people, I feel like that's rooted in racism.
Most people, when they try to avoid a particular race, if you dig into their past, they must have gone through some bad experiences.
I have like internalized racism and like anti-blackness and like all of these things that I have to continue to process and work through if I want to stand in solidarity with everyone in this country.
Did he just I'm just gonna skip over that.
Something wrong with having a racial preference?
I think if it's a fetish.
Fetish, yeah.
Then yeah, probably.
But I think that if you are looking at
I think if it's a fetish.
Country.
Is there something wrong with having a racial preference?
I think if it's a fetish.
fetish, yeah.
Then yeah, probably.
But I think that if you are looking at them,
what was the question?
Have gone
blackness and like all of these things that I have to continue to process and work
racist.
through if I want to stand in solidarity with everyone in this country.
Is there something wrong with having a racial preference?
Is there something wrong with having a racial preference? I think if it turns into a fetish, then that's kind of weird. Like saying like, actually, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I'm really indifferent on it. Like I'm going back and forth on it a lot. Like I'm going back and forth. Like I don't know.
I think if it's a fetish.
Because I think it depends on who you've been around a lot.
fetish, yeah.
Then yeah, probably.
But I think that if you are looking at them in a wholly sexualized fashion, that veers into racism.
Do you have a racial preference when dating?
I like my black men. That contrast.
Oh, I thought that pause was deadly. That pause was deadly. I thought she was gonna say something completely different. That contrast. Whoa, whoa.
Veers into racism.
Do you have a racial preference when dating?
I like my black men. That contrast of that skin color, to me, it's very erotic.
Have you ever caught shit for your racial preference?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Do you have a racial preference when dating?
No.
I don't discriminate.
People think I do, but I don't. I've never said I'll turn down someone because of their race.
I love all ethnicities. I think they're all fucking hot.
What's your ethnicity?
I am South Indian.
Do you date South Indians?
No.
So you do have racial preferences.
Oh shoot, I guess.
Do you have a racial preference when dating?
I don't.
Because of their skin colors turned on you? That sounds like a wait, what?
I think that I do.
What might your dating history say?
Well, listen, there's like a lot of white people that I've hooked up with, so that.
Reread, bruh. That sounded like a fetish because of their skin color turns you on. Because of their skin color turns you on. Like, I understand what you're saying, but the way that you said it is wrong. Like, the of shouldn't be there. Because their skin color turns you on. Because of their skin color turns you... Like, what? So how about you retype it, bruh?
That tells a different story.
Do you have a racial preference when dating?
No, but like most of the people I've dated have been white.
White men.
Like most of the people I've dated have been white.
White men.
Caucasian.
I do have a preference for blonde hair, blue-eyed, Tom Petty-ish features.
Why do I feel like she just called me the N-word?
I just like haven't found another racial identity that I like have connected with on that level.
My previous dating history were all white, tall, cis men. That's just kind of what I always just leaned towards and felt familiar with.
I grew up with a really large like white population.
It was who was available.
And it wasn't, definitely not a contract.
Who the fuck this nigga think he is? Listen, all respect to you, but brother man, You not him. But you think you him for real? All respect to you, cuz. I just, you know, we just joke around here. You know what I mean? It depends who you are in contact with. The people I interact with are mostly old church people. So you are attracted to old church people. Understood, Elizabeth.
Conscious decision.
There's so many fucking white dudes in Seattle.
How does the experience differ when dating outside of your race?
You have the opportunity to have different perspectives than you may have otherwise been having available to you.
I traveled a lot after college.
Getting away from Florida, going to school, having a broader worldview. Now it's much more about the person.
Do you have any racial preferences when
LOL, you prefer old men. So you do prefer old men, I'm assuming, is what you're saying. Like older men. You said older. I can't read. I'm tired if you can't tell.
I do tend to date white men more, which is probably why all the relationships have been awful.
Why are you still dating white guys if they suck so much?
I think a part of me is like, I don't deserve men of color. Part of me.
What the fuck? That's so weird. Isn't that weird to say? That's weird, right? That's weird, right?
More, which is probably why all the relationships have been awful.
Why are you still dating white guys if they suck so much?
I think a part of me is like, I don't deserve men of color.
What? That's weird, right? I'm not tripping. Like that's a weird thing to say. I feel like I don't deserve men of color. What she mean by that? She be saying the hard R, huh?
Part of my family is really racist, and like I don't want to expose them to that.
Have you always had a preference?
No.
What changed?
I dated a white person.
What happened?
He called me a colored person, not person of color. Colored person. I'm not kidding.
Do you have any racial preference?
No, I don't feel like I deserve. Oh, my camera! Fuck. Now I understand. Traditionally good-looking men. Why? What does that even mean? That you don't deserve traditionally good-looking men. What does that even mean? Break that shit down. What the hell does that mean? You don't deserve traditionally good-looking men. The hell? I have to change my fucking battery, and this is the battery that gets stuck all the time. I was gonna say maybe she meant she don't meet the standards of the male color is looking for. Ah, okay.
Yo, what's going on? What's going on?
The
What's going on?
camera isn't even up, nigga. I know.
I'm just playing, but question.
What's up?
I don't even gotta say nothing. You know what I'm saying? We brothers for real. When you brothers for real, you don't gotta say nothing.
You know already. You should always get. Yeah, honey, one up. Look, man. Because the good-looking men, sexy abs and stuff would never go for me, so I must not be worthy. What the Elizma, listen to me, dog. Don't stop. What the hell? Look, I don't know if I talked to you before. Who the hell have I talked to about this, right? There are just certain people that don't deserve you. If someone will not go out with you for whatever reason, fuck them. It's their loss, bruh. Traditional good-looking men don't. No, that's so fucked up. No, fuck that. That shit actually kind of pissed me off. I'm not pissed off at you. I'm pissed off at how like we as a society have kind of allowed that to flourish. Like, oh, like this like thought of like, oh, well, certain people just don't deserve to be with certain people. What? Let people be with who they want to fucking be with, bruh. This is what I always say, right? If you're gay, be gay. Live your truth, bro. Live your truth. Regardless of what you like, regardless of what people say, fuck them, bro. You deserve to be with who you want to be with. Period. Okay, but saying fuck them is a whole lot easier when they're actually interested in you. How so? How so? Tell me how. Tell me how is it easier when they're interested? Because to me, it would be a lot harder to say fuck them if they were actually into me. But that's just me though. So I want to hear your side. How's it harder for you? Plus, traditionally good-looking men are shitty. Traditionally good-looking people are shitty, right? It's like the whole thing of people who think they look good or like know that they look good have no personality because they spent their whole life being told, "Well, you're gorgeous." Like, you don't have to do anything. Like, you are just it. You're perfect. Like, shit like that is what, like, happens with traditionally good-looking people. Look at Angelina Jolie and that one guy, Brad Pitt. He's traditionally good-looking, but is shitty. Brad Pitt is shitty. The fuck Brad Pitt do? What did Brad Pitt do?
When dating.
Anything but white.
He was abusive to them? What? Since when? When did this happen? I ain't heard that shit. If there's interest in me, not them you don't know? No, I have no idea what you're talking about. If there's interest in me, not them specifically, them. Oh, that's what you mean, Elizabeth. Okay. I get that. Okay. I can understand that. Actually. Yeah, you're right though. You're right. It's easier to say that when you have people actually interested in you. That is very true. That is very true. You don't know if they're getting divorced. I thought they've been divorced. But I guess not. I don't know what the fuck be going on.
No offense. It's been a series of bad luck.
Anything other than white and blonde.
Why is that?
The super strong, important figures in my life that are male have always been of mixed descent.
I usually tend to date POC.
It has to be of color.
I probably prefer people of color.
She's really cute. I'm sorry.
POC.
Like,
it has to be of color.
I was trying to keep it to myself, but she's really good looking. Like, I'm sorry. She's really beautiful. Nah, they've been married for a minute now, but getting divorced. That fucking sucks to hear. I mean, I don't really care, but like, sucks to hear that he was abusive to them. That's fucked. I hate blondes. I had a crush on a blonde girl when I was younger. Worst experience of my life.
I prefer people.
Her eyes are fucking gorgeous too. Jesus.
That's not to say like I was to meet someone who wasn't like of color, like I would be completely closed off to them. They would have to definitely meet the criteria that comes inherent with dating someone of color.
It's necessary, I think, for someone to be able to have some type of understanding systemic oppression and what we go through.
It can be harder to relate to somebody when you don't have the same experiences growing up.
There are certain things that like you don't really have to like explain.
I've dated people who shared nothing.
This guy. This is the guy from the video as well.
In common with me in terms of culture. It's just not the same.
Because I am Jewish, like it would be so much more profitable to marry someone who's Jewish. I don't know, you get it more.
What was it like the first time you dated somebody outside of your race?
Yeah, those relationships are weird.
Yeah,
Why does he look so familiar? He looks familiar as hell, but I don't know from where, from what. I don't know.
What's the first time you dated somebody outside of your race?
Yeah, those relationships are weird.
Yeah, I tried vanilla in high school. It didn't click.
Do you have a racial preference when dating?
The only preference is I have a male breathing penis pulse.
Honestly, my biggest thing is I love a beard. Like a beard and chest hair.
I have like a height preference, like the last guy. 6'5". What did that kid drink when he was young?
There are 2 people in chat right now that are typing. You 2. Do y'all have a height preference? Let me know. Do you have a height preference? Cause that's interesting. That's very interesting to me. I'm gonna play it.
Do you have a racial preference when dating?
Not really.
Do you have a certain type of guy?
Nah, not anymore. Okay, but when you did, yes, I'm seated all the time. Tall guys, I'm always that. Ah, Alisma, don't change. Don't ever change. I love you. You're so great. I'm always on dick level. Okay. Deja, when you did have a preference, what was it? What was your preference? Like, was it like, oh, okay. No, I meant height preference, bruh. Have you had a height preference before? Not ethnicity or skin color. Nah, never? Good for you. I didn't care. Good. Height, baby, tall. I don't know what you mean by that.
I don't like young guys. I like daddies.
Okay.
Do you have a racial preference when dating?
I'm queer and pan, so I just really am attracted to like
Personalities.
The individual themselves is what I notice before I pay attention to what their ethnicity or race is.
If I find you attractive, I find you attractive.
How can you tell that you don't have a racial preference?
I feel like my porn history is very much complicated. I love so much like gangbang and just like all of this stuff, and in that one, like everyone's there. Everyone's invited to the gangbang. It's a potluck.
What are your...
All right then.